Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to go.
I'm so glad.
I think we're going to have a very nice event, an a cappella group called the Clefs of Insanity. Please don't hold the name against them, I think. I think they're really quite accomplished. So let's give them a nice warm Atrium round.
We are a secular group. We sing a cappella music in a choral style. We don't do solos or more of an accent. We do sing a lot of religious music, and we're opening with a couple of religious numbers. Our first two songs are both have the common theme of finding solace and hope in faith. The first was first published in 1867 as The Good Old Way, and the original lyric is Down in the Valley to Pray. The Gloria of Mexico. The second one is by the youngest composer that has written a piece we're performing. He's a Norwegian named Ola Yelo. This one, it draws on monastic chants from Switzerland in the 14th century. I recently learned this week that unicorns do exist. The definition of a unicorn is a privately owned company worth more than $1 billion. But in the 14th century, they didn't have any privately owned corporations, much less anyone with $1 billion. And so a unicorn, so this is from the 14th century, and it describes the celebration and repercussions following the capture of a unicorn. That was obviously an unusual event in medieval Europe. musicians on me, but it's not going to throw me off. Michael Maceman singing bass and tenor. Soprano. Tenor. Soprano. Bass. Bobby Barnes, alto. Philip Richardson, tenor. Jeremy Wright, alto. Greg wasn't sure I could pronounce his last name. What is it again? Williams. Greg Williams. Only a bass would worry about that. Kamala Carter, alto and soprano. John Humphrey, sometimes known as the golden voice of Greater Cresswell. So we have one more song. This one is another song about faith and resilience in the face of adversity. How can I keep from singing? We performed in the library, kitty corner across the street, and got a very nice reception. We literally had no encore except for the Star Spangled Banner, which we declined to perform. So we have one more piece. This is traditional British Isles piece. It's another genre, kind of acapella folk singing. This is the party.
One more. This is on the wall. I didn't realize that. This is a picture in the wintertime at the Huron River with ice that's about 6 inches above the water. And when the sun sparkles on this moving water, if you looked at it with your eye or you photographed it with a very fast shutter speed, you see a lot of points. But in a fourth or an eighth of a second, those points draw lines, and that's where those lines come from. This is Portfolio 5, Colorado. A wonderful friend took me camping a couple of times to get these pictures. Portfolio 6 I'm including later on with the other big pictures. Portfolio 7 I call proximity because it's full of close pictures, close to the subject. This is cardboard was in a window over a ghost town in Montana. And this porch railing was in Ann Arbor. I always figure if you look at this too much, your eyes may get damaged.
Oh, that is a neat effect.
Oh, and then we get to Portfolio 8, People and Places. These are environmental portraits from 5 countries, and this one is from Nepal. Now, I was around on the other side of this building making some other picture, and I heard people laughing uproariously around on this side, so I came where this guy was. And he made these people laugh because he put his pet monkey inside his shirt pretending to nurse it. And so by the time I got around there and asked him to pose by sign language, he put on this stern look and the monkey put on the same stern look. But I don't think that's characteristic of him. This young lady is from Nepal, and we have this barber is in Hawaii, on the island of Kauai, and as you see, he's rather casual with no shoes on, very old-fashioned. And the interesting thing to me was that just down the street was another barber shop called the Modern Sanitary Barber Shop. And I taught workshops at the east end of Lake Superior, in Lake Superior Provincial Park for 20 years. And so naturally I have a lot of pictures from Ontario. Now I've lumped together Portfolios 6, 11, and 22 to show you pictures from the Greek Kyklades Islands. This group of islands is about 40-minute plane ride or several-hour ferry boat southeast of Athens. This is a church on Paros. No, that was on Santorini. Well, you don't care. There it is. But I was intrigued by all the many shapes in the churches. This is a church, this dome. And I always think about, when I think of this picture, I'm reminded of the fact that this is the first time I ever did something you're supposed to do. You're supposed to pay attention to the shapes of the negative space. The sky here is the negative space. It's not the subject. And I really was conscious of that as one of the pieces I was putting together. So when you're using a big view camera and you compose the picture on the ground glass, I get a strong feeling that I am making the image instead of just taking what's out there.
Question?
What's that?
The previous slide,
Yeah?
is that an example of the masking effect?
Oh, no. Well, some of these, this one was late enough that I started masking, but most of the Greek pictures we recorded started in shadows. So, and this one, I like this picture a lot better now than I used to, because it was in one of the portfolios. But I told you that Helmut Grinsheim's 35,000 pictures are at Austin, Texas. Well, after he started collecting contemporary photographers, I don't know how many rows there would be, probably a couple thousand. But they ended up in a museum in Mannheim, Germany. And last year, that museum, for the first time, chose from among the 35,000 at Texas and the ones they had, of the contemporary photographers to make up an exhibition of 350 photographs, and they chose one of mine, which pleased me a lot. And so that's why I like this picture a lot better now. This is a church on the island of Santorini. And I put these two on facing pages in my book because I like the way the corners work together up there, black, white, and these two corners. And just a triangle, about as simple as you can get. And that's the same church on Santorini that I just mentioned a couple back. It's remarkable how things change when you move a few feet. And that was my most popular Greek picture. And you know, I didn't expect anybody to want any of these things. And so, since I was just doing them for fun, I made the editions 50. Well, that was a mistake on this one. And then we get to the Great Sand Dunes. This is portfolio 12, and I like the sand dunes so much that you're getting 7 of these instead of just one. These are the highest dunes in the United States, and what is it, 50-some square miles, I think, Terry? Well, Terry lives near there. Anyway, so you have a foothill dune in the foreground and a real high dune behind it. And that funny shadow up there, I don't know, how many of you know Jerry Ewell's in these photographs? He puts numerous negatives together on the same print, and when Jerry and I traded prints, that's the one he chose. And of course, I followed him when I saw the picture. And this is the same place in the afternoon, and the shadow isn't there now.
Where is it?
This is in south central Colorado. Takes about, what, 4.5 hours to drive down from Denver. This is a spectacular place if you want to do dunes. Of course, you have to be careful to go away from where all the tourists go, or if you want to get away from the footprints.
Pretty light.
That white triangle is black in the afternoon. It's kind of fun to do the same spot. Well, there it is. I didn't remember I had it in here. And then this is from my first night spent in Grand Teton National Park. Let's see.
What year was this, sir?
1961. I was back there quite a lot of times after that and never saw a day in like this one did. This portfolio is called Photographs from 4 Decades. It's number 13. And of course I didn't want to put 13 on it, so I just called it Photographs from 4 Decades. And this is also Grand Teton National Park. In fact, I guess all of them are. Still the same park. And then we get to the English churches. I took the 8x10 camera to England in '82 and '83 to photograph small churches while I was one cathedral in this portfolio. But mostly small churches. Drove all around. I probably looked in 300 churches to see what I could find to do. These ropes are attached to bells, and they're stretched taut. At the bottom of each rope, there's a piece of hose surrounding it, so that one guy can stand there and kick these things one after the other to ring all the bells. Well, the British like to do what's called ringing the changes, which means they will take these 5 bells and they will ring them in every sequence that you can make out of the 5. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, 2, you know, every combination. Can you imagine what it would be like to be the neighbor of the church when you practice? Anyway, so I put this on the cover of my English church book because my last preceding publication was a piece of music. And so I thought I ought to have the 5 lines of the staff on my first photographic book. That little cherub there is on a memorial plaque on the wall. I always think of this as my digital photograph. I don't do digital photographs, but I could not do this picture from the spot I wanted to be because I had my tripod sitting on the church pews. And church pews are digital. You can't be just anywhere, you gotta be where they are. So I had to include more in the picture than I wanted and crop it a little bit. The English love to grow flowers, and so a lot of these little churches would have fresh flowers looking fresh in the middle of the week. Then we come to the bristlecone pine portfolio, number 15. These pictures are taken at high altitude in California and in Colorado.
Did you get to see Methuselah?
No, they don't tell anybody where the oldest one is. The oldest one is something like 4,600 years old, about 1,000 years older than the oldest redwood. And then we get to New Zealand, portfolio 17. We had 2 trips down there to get these pictures, some lenticular clouds. We never have lenticular clouds in Michigan. I don't think it's legal. This is a detail of a rock as big as a house on the shore of the Pacific Ocean on the east side of the North Island. And it was just a wonderful place to go. We had, well, it was actually on a tree farm. The tree farm was owned by a company whose top man was one of my best customers, and he wanted me to do the New Zealand portfolio. He said he'd buy 6 portfolios if I'd go to New Zealand the second time, so I did, and he kept thinking of people to give the portfolio to, so he bought 18 large portfolios. Now we're at portfolio 18, 10 cathedrals. This is the pillar holding up the ceiling of the chapter house at Westminster Abbey. And at Westminster Abbey, you can get thrown out without even going in the cathedral if you have a camera. I stood outside the cathedral, pointed at the front door, and got shooed away. But I don't know how I got away with it, but somehow I got in the chapter house with nobody looking. I did this one. This is from Durham Cathedral, which is very far north in England, right beside Scotland. Then I did a portfolio from northern Arizona and southern Utah, which I call Sandstone Country, and that's one of them. I should go faster, shouldn't I? No. and then I had a portfolio 20 called Abstraction. These are pictures that just accumulated over the years from various places. That's the roof of a car in Loveland, Colorado. This one is in the window out in front. This is the first picture I made after attending Adam's workshop. And prior to the workshop, it was advised that we should read his basic photo series, including the one about the zone system. So this is a picture made while thinking of the zone system right after the workshop. And the interesting thing is that as it was necessary for me to set a limit on how many prints I would make, just then it was printed in some magazine that Adams estimated that he had made over 900 of his most popular picture, Moonrise at Hernandez. And so I thought, well, I ought to be allowed half that many. So I put the limit at 450, thinking that was a ridiculous number. I would never come close to it. Well, the last one got sold 2 or 3 years ago, so they were all gone. And then this spring, I bought an early print back from somebody, cut it up, and used that number for the one that's in the window. So now there is 1 for sale. That's it. So, any questions? Complaints? No, all finished.
Is this where we say where the color was?
Oh, where are the colors?
Turn around, dude. BMW, right there. See almost.